My name is Amreen. I am a middle school science teacher at a school in West LA. And I'm here because I really wanted to talk to you about a practice that I use called Circle. Circle is a practice that's used in many ancient traditions. The version I do is taken from Native American culture, and I use it mostly to build community in my classroom. It's also being really widely used in a practice called transformative justice that is kind of an alternative form of discipline in schools. I had always been praised for having my students on lock in my classroom. I had a really strict discipline system and really instilled the fear of the teacher in the classroom. A few years back, I started doing some organizing with the People's Education Movement and Insight LA, and I really realized that there's this system that we live in that's literally a school-to-prison pipeline, especially in our brown and black communities. I had this moment where I was like, bing, 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 I'm totally recreating a police state and a system of fear in my classroom. And when I had that realization, I was kind of like, oh my God, I really need to start looking into other things, because if I really want to change the world outside, then I need to change the world inside my classroom and teach a new way of being. So I started using Circle pretty much every other Friday after our assessments or whatever icky stuff is going on. It's a really great space that kind of levels the playing field between me and them. It's a space where they really get to feel heard, and it's really empowering for them to feel like there's a teacher or somebody or each other that's listening to them and that will not judge them for what they're gonna say. So Circle traditionally has a couple traditional components to it, one of them being a talking piece. I use Weetzie in my classroom. Weetzie is this little stuffed teddy bear that one of my students gave me a couple years ago, and we pass Weetzie around and everybody loves Weetzie. There's also some other components like community agreements. One of the major ones that I really tried to push in my classroom is speaking from the heart and listening from the heart. I always traditionally start off Circle with some sort of music, or a lot of spoken word out there is really great and connects to students. I use Upworthy all the time because they have really great video clips that are out there. Something that I want them to really connect to. And then I'll ask them, how did they connect to it? After that, we kind of go into something light. I really like starting off Circle kind of on a lighter tip, because sometimes it can get real serious. So I'll ask them silly questions. I'll ask them what their favorite thing to eat is, or what their music they were listening to recently. Sometimes I'll get sillier than that. But just trying to start off light so that it creates a safe zone for them. From there, we'll get into more kind of serious stuff, you know, like asking them what's going on in their world so that they have a space to really be able to talk about like their lives, especially at the middle school level. They really want to talk about themselves all the time, so that one always works great. Also, if there's something serious going on in the school community, there was a fight or somebody just got suspended or expelled, really connecting with them on how that's making them feel. Did they feel it was fair or unfair, or how are they connecting to that event? Those kind of questions really allow students to connect with each other and with me, which in turn builds this community in our classroom in which they really feel respected and valued as individuals. A few years ago, I had been working in this continuation school, and I was really struggling with a bunch of the students there. And I was like, I'd heard about Circle, and I was like, let me try something new because this needs to be changed. I came in the next day and I told students, I was like, listen, we're gonna try something new today. I broke down the practice of Circle for them. I told them about how it had really roots in a lot of Native American traditions, and from there, I showed them this really dope spoken word piece on the whackness of the standardized testing world that we lived in. And I asked them, I was like, how does this connect to you? You know, what does this mean to you? And then I really asked them, I was like, okay, we're at this non-traditional school. What does this school space mean to you? You know, what are you getting out of this school space? And what are your hopes as far as education goes? You know, what are you trying to get out of this? From there, the next day, a student came in, and he was my most challenging student. I had really been going through it with this kid, you know, and he was like, yo, miss, he was like, that was really cool yesterday. We spent like a good time talking, and he was like, miss, what are we doing today? Boom.